now. We're standing on the edge now. This is the moment that we came for, and now we're going it alone. We just wanna know, we just wanna go into the unknown.
Future Now is just around the corner, and the card is starting to take shape for our next blockbuster event. Welcome to another edition of PCW Ultra Mutiny. My name is Mike Simmons, and we're just a handful of weeks away from Future Now. It comes to you Friday night, March 27th from the Ultratorium in Wilmington, California. Cop your tickets right now at PCWUltra.com. We'll have a few new match announcements later on, but first, it was officially announced this week that Timothy Thatcher and Killer Kross have reported to the WWE Performance Center. Now, both men have made names for themselves competing all over the world, including right here in PCW Ultra. In our main event this week, we bring you up to speed with action from our latest event, as Kross makes his long-awaited Ultra debut against the masterpiece, Chris Masters. But up next, we'll take you back to our very humble beginnings. Year 1, Show 1, Match 1. From Release the Kraken, January 9th, 2016, Timothy Thatcher battles Joe Graves in the very first match in PCW history. On the call, the perennial voices of PCW Ultra, Todd Kennelly and Christian Cole.
It's time for our opening contest, scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first.
Rise from your grave.
Here we go, set for action, and our opening contest.
Making his way into the ring from Phoenix, Arizona, weighing 236 pounds, he is a soul fighter, Joe Graves.
Joe Graves, what an incredible athlete this man is, Christian Cole, and he can absolutely back it up. Just think of the accolades he has.
Todd Kennelly, Christian Cole here for Release the Kraken, the inaugural show from Torrance, California, and Joe Graves circling the ring right now. This guy can fight a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion.
His opponent. Making his way into the ring from Sacramento, California, weighing 220 pounds, Timothy Thatcher.
Timothy Thatcher, a real mat technician, two guys that know each other so well, but this was not the scheduled matchup. Graves was scheduled to take on wrestling personified Rick Luxury, a very different opponent for Graves. How do you feel that will affect Graves in this matchup?
It has to be a disadvantage for Graves. There's no way around it. Graves has been studying the tape of Rick Luxury. Rick Luxury was not able to make the show. He's not here. Therefore, his opponent, Timothy Thatcher, who has the acumen of a world-class superstar. And honestly, I'm not sure if Graves is ready for Thatcher.
A lot of respect, but a lot of intensity between these two. They have some recent history. Graves, in fact, has a recent victory over Timothy Thatcher. Choked him out, but Thatcher took Graves to the limit and then some. So you got to think that Thatcher loves having this attempt to get some revenge on Graves.
And they're starting off with a collar and elbow tie-up. You know, really, as you can see, Graves is trying to control the ring, and now putting his opponent Thatcher on the rope. Really, like you said earlier, both of these guys are mat technicians, but with the jiu-jitsu of Graves, I suspect that wrist control and the control of the ring in general will be his forte, and it may be the advantage that gets him the victory.
Graves probably superior striking, I would guess, out of the two. Goes for the low shot.
Nice.
Looking for that single leg. Graves finding the leg, trying to take him down.
Yeah, and as you can see here, now Graves taking his back and rolling, anaconda roll now to the corner, and Graves really controlling the ring here, trying to get double underhooks under Thatcher's. Now Thatcher reversing. Look, this is absolutely this is
stalemate. It absolutely is, and that's what we talked about, fans. That PCW is going to bring you that spectrum of professional wrestling. You're going to see the various styles that make up the great sport. These two are absolute masters of the mat. If it goes on the ground, they know how to take you apart. The ring for this match is one big operating table. These are two surgeons. They can carve you up.
Yeah, and if we're talking about surgery, we're talking about brain surgery. These two are the best. I mean, literally, you are watching the best, and that's the whole roster. That's what PCW is going to bring you.
Thatcher now picking a body part, going for the arm, but uses that to transition to a single leg pick and gets Graves on the mat. But Graves, of course, with his jiu-jitsu background, is going to be comfortable working off his back as well.
Nice counter by Graves now. Sort of going for a pin, but they're tied up in the ropes. They're going to break it up here. Yeah, there's no way. And Graves knew it. As you can see, Graves knew that they were towards the corner. There was no way that they were going to get a pinfall there or even a submission with being that close to the ropes.
Thatcher got the ropes. Referee has no choice but to stand both men back up. Neither competitor able to get a clear-cut advantage. So well matched.
Wow.
Beautiful. Belly-to-belly throw there by Thatcher.
Yeah, a huge throw. And now as you can see, he's actually trying to crank that armbar, that cross arm breaker, going for it. But Graves countering and holding his hand. If you notice, he's actually holding both hands, holding his own wrist to try and counter and not allow Thatcher to go for. Now what he's looking for is a Kimura, Todd. If you notice, he's trying to pull that elbow joint and take that wrist and bend it behind his back. But he's not successful. As you can see, Graves really countering, holding that arm, making sure that he doesn't get it done.
Keeping it clasped. But now burying the knee, trying to use that knee for added leverage.
He might have
Thatcher
it.
straightening that arm.
Yep, this is what Timothy Thatcher is known for. This joint manipulation. Oh, my goodness. And as you can see, Thatcher will go for the smallest joints of the body and try and debilitate his opponent piece by piece, taking Graves down slowly.
And Graves needs those hands if he's going to lock in that choke. Thatcher knows that, trying to take away one of his primary weapons. And imagine, Thatcher will attack you head, shoulders, knees, and toes, even the webbing of your fingers.
Yeah, there's nothing off limits when it comes to these two. And a huge back chop there.
Oh, looking for a rear naked choke here.
That looks like it's in there. No, it's not all the way in.
2-on-1 wrist control by Thatcher to escape, and now both guys out of the scramble. Who do you think is going to get the advantage here,
Well,
Christian?
you have to, even though, here's a count. Even though Graves seems to have the disadvantage being on his back, with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, with the championships that he has, the acumen that he has on the mat, you have to figure Graves has the advantage when they're rolling around like this.
Well, and that's the thing that doesn't transition to the professional wrestling mat, because you're on your back. You got to be leery of that pinfall attempt as well. Thatcher trying to use this standing position to get something going as Graves trying to work the legs, perhaps to scissor and take him down yet again. Looks like he's going to be successful, and he is.
Wow, what a great sweep. As you notice, he actually took both legs, scissored the legs of Timothy Thatcher, taking him down to his belly, and now has the advantage, taking his back, and it looks like he's trying to lock in, what is it? Now it's a cross arm breaker now by Graves. And look at these guys. I mean, this is exactly what you want from a wrestling match. Two guys at the best of their abilities, countering one another, switching positions, taking advantage. I mean, this is a great start to PCW.
Certainly is. Great scientific wrestling. You're not going to see that in our main event when it's MVP and the Almighty Sheik, when it's lights out and anything goes. Fujiwara armbar attempt now, but Graves rolls into the pressure and able to escape. Now a bit of a north-south position here by Joe Graves.
Yeah, Graves trying to lock his hands over the top of the back of Timothy Thatcher, now dropping a big knee in there. And, ooh, wow! Was that like a suplex, and he turned with it and landed on top of him?
Nice judo throw there. Graves has so many weapons, and when you're in there, not only do you have to worry about the submission, but then he'll transition to strikes as well. It's frying pan and into the fire.
That's exactly right, Todd. What you're seeing here is you're not really going to see this anywhere else. I mean, these are two guys who, wow, and sort of a disrespectful punch there. You know, this thing could get personal real quick.
Well, I don't think Thatcher takes kindly to that recent loss. You know,
Yeah,
Thatcher doesn't like to get choked out, have his lights turned out.
Now the Kimura now, he's got it all behind his back. All he needs to do is take that wrist, control the wrist, and crank it back as far as he can, keeping Graves on his belly to get as much leverage, and you're going to feel that pain right in that left shoulder and that left elbow. That's where you're going to feel that pain from the Kimura. But now instead he kept that locked in with his right leg and going with the right wrist control.
Thatcher is an absolute master.
Oh, not again.
Oh,
not
no.
again with the joint manipulation. Oh, man, your body is not supposed to bend that way, Todd Kennelly.
Imagine the pain that is going through the body of Graves right now. Oh, don't do it, Thatcher. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
Those ligaments are
hard
screaming, Christian Cole.
This is really hard to watch. You know, if you look, Graves, what he needs to do is roll forward and kick through. And now with 1 count, see, oh, now that 1 count actually allowed him to stand up.
Stepping over now into a takedown. Beautifully done by Graves. He's got the pin attempt and trying to secure a leg lock here as well.
This is what's happening. Thatcher is actually trying to get out of that hold that Graves has him in, but in doing so, he has to also remember to keep his shoulders up. You know, 2 things at once for Timothy Thatcher. It's a very challenging thing. But now, look at that counter by Timothy Thatcher. This is wrestling. These guys are doing things, you know, you don't see this in wrestling. These guys are doing jiu-jitsu. They're doing mat wrestling, Greco-Roman.
Oh, now the ground and pound here by Graves.
Just huge strikes from Graves, you know.
Throwing punches.
Frustrated clearly that he can't.
Punches and bunches here, Christian Cole.
Oh, wow.
Into that straight arm bar.
But he's not, that's not in. Now he's on the ropes. The referee asked for a rope break there.
Ring positioning so important.
Very
Both guys are great ring generals, but advantage right now to Graves. He's got to stay on him, try and capitalize.
Yeah. Now see, you can see now Graves a little tentative coming in. Now he's got the north-south choke, also known as the Darce choke. Really has to lock this in and should probably roll to his right with it. If he could roll with it, oh no, see, Thatcher's not letting him keep it.
Well, Thatcher escaping with strikes, beautifully done.
Yeah, Thatcher's defense is ridiculous. I mean, you know, we could sit here and talk about all day how Graves is a jiu-jitsu champion, a world-class champion, but, you know, Thatcher is no stranger to this mat wrestling. Thatcher, you know, his defense is actually really impressive. I'm loving watching it.
Sometimes they say the best offense is a good defense, but Graves powers out of the double underhook butterfly lock. And Thatcher, again, the way he uses his knees and elbows for leverage to get a hold is so effective, so impressive.
I mean, it just proves how smart he is. Both of these guys just so smart with the way they're. Oh no! Wow! And this crowd in Torrance really also appreciating that huge suplex by Graves. You know, not just a jiu-jitsu guy, but a wrestler nonetheless.
Graves going to try and choke him out again. Could you imagine? What will that do to Thatcher's psyche moving forward in future matches if he gets choked out 2 consecutive matches against Joe Graves?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, there's no way Timothy Thatcher is going to lose the same way twice. He studied Graves, you know, and let's go back and talk about real quick. You know, Graves didn't know that he would be facing Thatcher tonight. He thought he had Rick Luxury here
Wait,
tonight.
no, just like that,
he tapped out. Oh my goodness, what a match!
Your
Incredible first match here at
Timothy Thatcher.
Incredible first match here at Pacific Coast Wrestling. Wow.
What a way to kick things off. 2 masters of the mat, and now these 2 locking eyes, just staring daggers. You got to think there's a mutual respect. I was just about to say that Graves had the advantage when it came to the explosiveness department. That big release German suplex, but out of nowhere, Thatcher gets that arm bar and gets the win. Some much-needed redemption for him.
And if you're Graves, you have to think, did I just get tapped out? Did I really just get tapped out? I mean, this guy, again, he's a world champion. But Timothy Thatcher proving that he's no joke and he can hang with the best in the world. Bowing to our crowd here.
Pacific Coast Wrestling is all about bringing together the great styles of pro wrestling. It's wrestling excellence, and you saw that on display in spades in our opening contest. Unbelievable.
A statement win that will live forever in the history books. Timothy Thatcher, the very first recorded winner in PCW Ultra history. Still to come, Killer Kross takes on the masterpiece Chris Masters in a heavyweight collision. Mutiny rolls on right after this.
Wrestling fans, on Saturday, February 29th, we would like to bring to you the one, the only, The Undertaker. Tickets are limited, so please don't delay and make your purchase before you get left out.
In Japan, we have embraced many things from the West. We honor them. We celebrate them. And master them. In return, we offer something for you to enjoy. Sapporo, Japan's oldest beer brand, now brewed and enjoyed around the world. And our way of saying,
ありがとう。
We want to send a huge shout out to the band Odd Palace for the Unknown, which is the anthem of PCW Ultra Mutiny. It's available on Apple Music, Spotify, and streaming outlets everywhere.
Nice flexibility going all the way upstairs on the much taller Filip.
Due to time constraints, you are just joining us in this fantastic tag team featured match. Look at RJ Santos out of Santino Brothers Academy in Bell Gardens, and Santos gonna fight back.
Santos got tons of heart, tons of fight, but a big-time spine buster there by Tome Filip. The Filip brothers out of Melbourne, Australia, here under the bright lights of PCW Ultra. Nice takedown there by Lucas Riley. Look out, though. Look out for Stevie Filip. Stevie Filip, I don't know if he's been noticed. He has now. Beautiful counter by the Gravity Renegade.
Gravity Renegade Lucas Riley training under Joey Chaos of the Santino Brothers in Bell Gardens, looking to go for perhaps a superplex. They are high up there. This PCW Ultra ring stands higher than most professional wrestling rings. And it's a dangerous area. Stevie able to fight out though, and look at Santos, the fiery, undersized Santos with a ton of heart.
Santos, man, he is fiery indeed. A little spark plug in there, has tons of fight, but getting the best of that skirmish was Stevie Filip. Look out!
Jesus Christ!
Shooting star press off the top. Is that going to do it? Hook of the leg. No, making the save was Lucas Riley.
Lucas Riley, having trained with RJ Santos in the better part of their early careers, they have this sort of this way of knowing each other's dangers, and like that twins have almost. And speaking of twins, incredible maneuver, tag team.
Into the cover now.
That's it.
Big win there for the Natural Classics. We take a look back. They call that the Moab, the mother of all bombs. That double team power bomb into the backstabber. And the Filips, ironically enough, sending the competition down under.
Australian brother tandem The Natural Classics picking up a hard-fought tag team victory here on Mutiny. And speaking of the very best from down under, at Future Now, we'll see the return of the greatest ledge of all time, Adam Brooks, as he faces a man with all kinds of momentum in the ultralight division, Ironheart Douglas James. But a serious question has emerged. After suffering a broken arm a number of weeks ago, will DJ be 100% on March 27th? Also at Future Now, we bring you action from our loaded Ultra Woman division as the Serpent of Evil, Viperess, makes her debut to take on the equal opportunity ass kicker, Ruby Reyes. What kind of alliance has Kevin Sullivan formed with the 6'7" monster from Puerto Rico, the Blood Hunter? Last month, he stood toe-to-toe with Sabu, and at Future Now, the Blood Hunter faces another extreme legend, this time in the franchise, Shane Douglas. We've seen him primarily in tag team action here in PCW Ultra, but at Future Now, we get to see Bestia, the second-generation star from the Tijuana Lucha Libre dynasty, go one-on-one with the Freak Show, the Warlord of Weird, Sin Bodhi. An Ultra Original meets the winner of Young Guns 3 in this one. Inaugural Ultralight champion Mecha Wolf makes his Ultra in-ring return after nearly 2 years to take on the charismatic Casanova, Dom Kubrick. And this one is a first-time ever dream match. The Dirty Daddy, Chris Dickinson, takes on the self-proclaimed creamiest of them all, the Ultra Original, Alex Hammerstone. Plus, we can confirm that the Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt will challenge for the Ultra Tag Team Championships at Future Now. All that and so much more at PCW Ultra's Spring Spectacular that comes to you live Friday night, March 27th from the Ultratorium, 231 West C Street in Wilmington, California. Get your tickets right now at PCWUltra.com. Don't miss your chance to see Dickinson and Hammerstone live for the very first time. And speaking of Hammerstone, next week on Mutiny, we continue our deep dive into his journey throughout the heavyweight ranks over the years. This time from 2018, where he faced the mountain-sized disciple of Warbeast, Brody King. And we'll also get you caught up to speed from Anniversary 2020, when former Defy champion Artemis Spencer took on Ultra Original TJ Perkins. But coming up next, Killer Kross and the masterpiece Chris Masters make their respective debuts in front of a sold-out Ultratorium at Anniversary 2020. Let's take it to ringside with Todd Kennelly and Christian Cole.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest, one fall, a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, he makes his way to the ring from Los Angeles, California. Weighs 260 pounds. He is the masterpiece, Chris Masters.
What a way to kick off Anniversary 2K20. Heavy hitter, a masterpiece, Chris Masters. When I think of the history of this company, I think of ultralight division, I think of all violence is legal, and I think about heavyweight hoss fights, and that's certainly how we're going to kick things off with a good old-fashioned heavyweight brawl.
That's exactly right. Chris Masters, as you now watch him entering the ring, this guy is made of platinum, nay, made of diamond. Chris Masters, one of the greatest physiques in all of professional wrestling history, making his debut tonight. And like my partner Todd Kennelly was just talking about, this is a heavyweight hoss fight indeed. Over 500 pounds of man will be in the ring. And if you include Jeremy Marcus, our referee, it's about 517 pounds.
And his opponent makes his way to the ring from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. Standing 6'4", weighing 250 pounds, he is the anti-machine, Killer Kross.
The harbinger of doomsday, Killer Kross, making his PCW Ultra debut, as is the masterpiece. Neither one of these guys want to end up on the losing side of their huge debut matchup. It's a real dream matchup here, Christian. Of course, the masterpiece, a former WWE superstar, faced many of the greatest in his time, including the showstopper, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. On the flip side, Killer Kross, former member of Impact Wrestling. He's wrestled at AAA in Mexico, Global Force Wrestling, and he has left a wake of destruction as Killer Kross.
Many of our fans may even know him from Lucha Underground. But what we all know about Killer Kross is he is the hottest free agent in professional wrestling today. He is an absolute shooter. The guy is dangerous psychologically as well as physically, and he is an absolute test for Chris Masters tonight.
Chan, a masterpiece goes out. Now, Chris Masters, a whole lot of history here in the Southern California region. This is where he was born and raised. Started as a wrestler back in Rick Bassman's Ultimate Pro Wrestling, UPW, who gave us the likes of, John Cena back in the day.
A lot of huge stars came out of UPW, including my broadcast partner, Todd Kennelly, who's called Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan matches internationally. I can put you over every once in a while, Toddy, baby.
Thank you, sir.
And the fact is that there it is. That's that moment people have been waiting for, that tie-up in the middle of the ring. Masters so far getting the better, but look at that. I mean, just these guys with a collar and elbow tie-up is a compelling thing to watch.
Absolutely. Who's going to get the edge in power? That is up for debate. And we're going to find out. They're going to have to prove it the hard way. Another big lockup, center of the ring. Two big heavyweight bulls lock in horns. Headlock by the master lock, or by the masterpiece. And speaking of the master lock, you got to believe that that's what's in mind, and he might be softening him up, attacking that head and neck region to maybe cinch it in later on in the matchup.
If you haven't seen the master lock, it is a vice grip style full Nelson that Chris Masters applies when he is behind his opponent. Killer Kross literally has to watch his back in this match.
Masters still looks like he's etched out of stone, looking for it right there. If he can interlace those fingers, Kross would be in trouble. Well scouted there. You know that Killer Kross has done his homework. He always comes into battle with a game plan.
Well, the Masterpiece is an easy guy to scout. I mean, there's footage of him literally on every website. He's been in every professional wrestling company. The guy has a long resume and history. Frankly, he's still a young guy. He goes about 33, 34 years old. He has great years ahead of him, and I think he looks to cement his legacy here at PCW Ultra.
And the future of Kross, you mentioned a hot free agent, still in question. What a feather it would be in the cap of Killer Kross to defeat a former WWE superstar. And again, a power struggle again here, and Killer Kross with the side headlock. Masterpiece drops to a knee. Beautiful headlock takedown there, nice leverage.
Oh, full mount, look at that. He goes right into full mount, Todd. Able to sweep, and now look at that. Trying to get up behind him. Oh, that could be a rear naked choke from Killer Kross, who is very well versed in MMA.
He really is. He's versed in just about every combat sport. MMA, Sambo, kickboxing.
What about kabaddi?
I don't believe so. That would be a sport in India, but I don't know. He would probably be among the very best if he ever did.
Wow.
Uh-oh, playtime might be over here, Christian Cole.
It's a very disrespectful move by Kross and an answer by Masters, an answer from Kross.
Big shot there by the Masterpiece. Chris Masters, so much power in that physique. He's a real heavy hitter. Swing and a miss. Spear by Killer Kross right back into that full
right
mount.
back in. Now huge elbows and forearms. Those are landing right on the brow of Chris Masters. And Killer Kross not going to let him get any space at all. This is what I'm talking about. Killer Kross has strikes. Killer Kross has grappling. He is a nasty, cold killer. And right now the victim is Chris Masters, my God.
Kick right to the throat there. That'll take some of the wind from the Masterpiece. The DDT now into the cover. And I think only the power of Masters saved him there, giving him the ability to kick out.
Masters just comes that close to losing his debut match here at PCW Ultra. It only takes 3 to get into the winner's circle, go to the pay window.
Elbow there by Kross. Did you notice, Christian, that Kross stomped the hand, maybe trying to take away that master lock, but the elevator going down all the way to the basement for Kross.
Yeah, Kross he looks out of it right now as Masters looks to set up in a high risk, middle rope. He's postured up high there. Double axe handle from Chris Masters, who, again, you know, when he was in the WWE, it was the decade of guys transitioning from the Attitude Era into the future of wrestling. So he learned from the best. He learned from wrestling with Shawn Michaels. He learned from wrestling with John Cena. Cover here, outside leg. And for me, you know, that shows. Chris Masters shows the type of people, the type of talent he was rubbing elbows with for his tenure in the WWE.
No doubt about it. And Masters, for a long time, teamed with Carlito. And think of that legendary Colon pedigree out of Puerto Rico, the knowledge that's in that family. But again, Kross is an absolute machine, just keeps moving forward. Come to the eye. Well, that's a little trick he might have learned from Carlito.
Yeah, you're starting to see that Chris Masters might need to take a shortcut or two in order to get himself in position to win this match. The fans didn't like it. As scattered boos you hear in the PCW Ultratorium.
Beautiful backbreaker there. and taking too much time. You can't waste time in there with Killer Kross, and it costs Masters there a little bit too much posing.
That's a great point, TK. I mean, you're able to get Killer Kross on his back. You're able to get him into the ropes. If you have him stunned, you need to go for that pinfall. And Masters now arguing with the ref and maybe showing some frustration here, unable to put Kross away thus far.
Abdominal stretch. Digging way deep into the old school playbook of offense here is the masterpiece. He's really slapping it on.
Yeah, it's a very unique way to put on that abdominal stretch. And now he digs in those right hands into the kidneys and ribs of Killer Kross. And I have never seen a murderer like Kross be in such jeopardy. Look at his body just collapsing down to the mat.
Even more impressive, as you documented earlier, the grappling expertise of Kross.
That's exactly right. But the fact is that Chris Masters is known for his grappling. He is known for that full Nelson master lock that he has in his repertoire. And it can happen any moment. I mean, right now he's in position. He's got his back, but he just wants to be punishing Kross.
Kross is not accustomed to being overpowered the way he is right now. But Kross, as long as he's got one breath left in his body, he's always dangerous, Christian.
That's exactly right, Todd. Look at that there. Front chancery. Looks to set something up here. Does Chris Masters. Maybe a standard standing suplex there, and he hits it picture perfect in the center. But again, Masters there, sort of taking his time into that cover. And that might be the difference. I mean, he's taking his time, then he gets a 2 count. If he rushes in for the cover, maybe he gets 3.
Yeah, maybe gets 3, or in the time that he's posing, what if he tries to get the back of Kross and lock in that master lock? Wasted opportunity, perhaps. We'll see if it costs him. Fine line between confidence and cockiness, Christian.
It's hard for me to tell exactly which one Chris Masters is. There again, that front chancery in real deep now. And he's looking to tap out Killer Kross with that maneuver. Look at that, smack dab in the center of the ring. Referee Jeremy Marcus taking a really close look. And you see some life in the right foot of Killer Kross.
Really cinching it in there, though, using his body weight was the masterpiece, laying all that body weight down on Kross. Now, you might think when it comes to submission grappling, the advantage would go to Kross, but again, this is killing 2 birds here for Masters, because he is again softening up that neck and head region, perhaps for the master lock later on. Putting it in the bank.
Yeah, he's definitely putting it in the bank. Chris Masters again. Is that a middle finger? And that shows that that defiance that Killer Kross brings into the ring. He certainly does not get along well with authority, does Kross, a guy that likes to do what he wants.
Yeah, Kross plays by his own rules, that's for sure. Both big men going for the clothesline, and bodies everywhere. Thinking the same thing there. What a power struggle here at A2K20.
Todd, this is only our first match. I mean, the heavyweight dream match happening here to kick off A2K20. What a night we have ahead of us.
You're not kidding, Christian. I mean, this is a main event anywhere. These two going at it. Uh-oh, look out here. Kross rising from the dead, catching his second wind. And the masterpiece might be running out of ammo here, Christian.
Yeah, it looks like Kross is on a mission right now. Dang, man, able to just throw Chris Masters across the ring.
Killer Kross, heavy artillery, big time strikes. Nowhere to go but down for the masterpiece. I think the corner, the only thing keeping him up right now.
Beautiful Saito suplex by Killer Kross. And Kross now is pumped up, and that's the ticket right there. We've seen him do that before. He wants to end this match now, looking to put away
he's
the
looking
masterpiece.
For it now. Yeah, was looking for that doomsday Saito after the exploder earlier. He's got that waist lock. He's put countless adversaries away. If he can take you for a ride.
Ooh, just nasty from Kross. Oh, he's caught. He's caught.
What a counter into the spine buster. Masterful counter by the Masterpiece, stacking them up. Oh, that was close, Christian.
That was absolutely close. I spoke with Chris Masters before this match, and I asked him, what do you think about going up against one of the most vile, most dangerous men in professional wrestling today? He said, it's the same thing, different day. I've been in the ring with legends, with Hall of Famers. Killer Kross is absolutely a stud, but I expect to be able to hang with this kid.
I think the Masterpiece thinks that the time is right now, Christian. Measuring Killer Kross for that master lock. He couldn't cinch it in early in the opening minutes of the matchup.
He's calling for it.
Has he done enough damage to cinch it in now?
He's got his back. He's behind him now. It's not cinched in yet. You can see the hands extending of Chris Masters as he tries to interlock his fingers and put away Killer Kross. Kross able to fight out though.
Well scouted. Big boot by Killer Kross. Tick-tock, time might be running out for the Masterpiece, who for the second time was not able to lock it in.
Oh, misses that roundhouse kick, and it's right in again, and it's not cinched. So close from Chris. Oh no, what the hell? Oh my God!
Stealing a page out of the playbook.
And that's locked in, TK.
Turnabout's fair play, can you imagine? I think he caught him low.
What are you talking about?
And now the roll up. Oh, not this way.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the bout, the Masterpiece, Chris Masters.
What do you mean, not this way? That's exactly how this is supposed to go. The diamond sharpens diamond, baby. It's a good lesson for Killer Kross. Great schoolboy roll up from behind. Absolutely fundamental wrestling from Chris Masters. He is your winner.
It took a low blow, Christian.
I didn't see a low blow.
Both competitors were in the corner, and Kross had his own variation of the master lock in. I do believe that the Masterpiece caught him with a heel kick to the nether regions prior to that perfect, masterful schoolboy roll-up.
Well, me and the referee disagree with you, so maybe you're an idiot.
Referee's decision is final. What a heavyweight battle it was. And the Masterpiece digging really deep into that bag of tricks.
What an effort by Killer Kross, who came in here tonight, a foreigner to PCW Ultra. And he looked comfortable. And he didn't get the win, he came up a little short, wasn't good enough tonight. But the fact is that he looked great. Masters is just that much better.
Some lethal striking throughout by Killer Kross. May have come up just short here due to the short-handed tactics of Masters, but no doubt the future looks bright for Killer Kross as well.
That was just another example of the very best in the world making their mark here in PCW Ultra before going on to achieve superstardom. Next week on Mutiny, HAMMERSTONE takes on Brody King in a classic bout, and Spencer versus TJP as we bring you more action from Anniversary. But the only way to see the event in its entirety is to go to PCWOnDemand.com right now and watch our 4-year anniversary bash. In my estimation, from top to bottom, it was the most historic event in PCW Ultra history. For our entire crew, this is Mike Simmons, and we'll catch you next week here on Mutiny.